5 things you should know before purchasing your first or subsequent C4 Corvette. Number 5, body style. Upon first glance, it can be assumed that there's just one body style for the coupe and convertible. In fact, there is an early version, 84 to 90, and a later version, 91 through 96. And in the case of the ZR1, only coming in a coupe configuration, there's only 2 major differences, and that would be the single version in 1990 and 1991 through 95. Before you jump in, you might want to consider what body you want to stick with. Number 4, interior style. The interior changed a few times over the lifespan of the C4. Minor changes were made to the blocky 80s style dash until 1989, when they went for a more fighter plane cockpit sort of look that focused more on the driver. This makes the 1990 an interesting year, as it is the last for the older body, but it now has the newer dash. The interior pretty much stayed the same, save for the addition of a passenger side airbag up until 1993, when the last major update was made to the interior. Number 3, transmissions. C4s came with both manual and automatic transmissions. First manual was the Doug Nash 4+3. This was seen from 1984 to 1988. It was then replaced by the ZF6 manual transmission in 89, and this went up till 1996. Little note here, this was the only transmission available in the ZR1, so if you choose to go with that body style, this is what you're stuck with. Automatic transmissions were the 700R4, being from 84 to 1993, being replaced by the 4L60E from 94 to 96. Number 2, the engine. The C4 came into the scene when horsepower was pretty abysmal for every make and model. Originally, the car was equipped in 1984 with a 205 horsepower L83 Crossfire. This was a carryover from the 1982 Corvette. 1985 saw the introduction of the L98. This replaced the L83 and came in at 230 horsepower. This was the base model motor until 1991. By then, the horsepower was up to 250 horsepower. The LT5, only available in the ZR1, was a dual overhead cam engine that from 1990 to 1992 produced 375 horsepower, whereas the 1993 to 1995 versions produced 405. In 1992, the 300 horsepower LT1 became available on the base model until 1996. 1996 also had the LT4 with 330 horsepower. This was the only engine available to the Grand Sport. Number 1, previous owners, collectible or not. Not all Corvette owners are created equal. Many of these cars have been beaten to the point where there is little life left in them, and it would require a lot of love to overcome the cost of the overhaul of the car. Rust issues that plague lesser cars do not usually creep up on these, and it is entirely possible to find one of these sitting behind someone's mobile home that has not one speck of rust on the body or the frame, in spite of it being buried up to the rockers in mud. This is not to say that they will not rust or do not rust. You just have to look it over far more carefully than you would any other car. Another problem is when you find that spotless example in someone's garage that has super low miles. Anything over 90,000 miles on these in the eyes of the Corvette community of old considers this to be high mileage. Unfortunately, many of these cars did not get the routine driving they needed, and aside from paint, are in no better condition than the one you would find behind the mobile home. And likewise, spending thousands more than the quote low mile premium you did on the car. Is the C4 Corvette collectible, or is it not? Well, the short answer is no. The long answer? Very, very few of these will be collectible, and it is unlikely any of these clean, low-mile examples that you can readily find on Marketplace will be any of those that is legitimately rare. There are more clean C4s out there than rough ones, and this really isn't going to change anytime soon. When driven, maintained, and enjoyed, these cars can last well beyond the 300,000 mile range, and it is only because of the mentality of those that purchase these new that there are still so many alive with such low miles and such well, in you're using air quotes here, good shape today. Well, guys, I didn't say it was going to be easy. There are a lot of things to consider, but take it from me. Look at all of them you see. Find out what you like, what options you want, then zero in on that. You'll find that even if it's a base, plain Jane car, or if it's some Callaway that you found, or a ZR1, you'll find that that Corvette that you choose will not just be any Corvette, it will be your Corvette, and you will be proud of it. I hope you guys liked the video. If you guys liked it, hit that like button. Definitely hit the subscribe button. And share the video with your buddies. If you really, really like the video and you want to see more stuff like this, consider donating on the Patreon page. Buy me a cup of coffee. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great one.